Alright, nearing the end of our cool spot retrospective, only one more after this. This is Spot Goes to Hollywood on the Sega Genesis. This is sort of a sort of sequel to Cool Spot. I kind of consider it more of its own game though. There's a lot of similarities, especially on the Sega Genesis versions. It actually has a story to it this time around. I'll save that for the PS1 because they have the cutscenes. So, as you can, got the menus here. But on the excuse me, on the PS1, they show a little bit of a story. Here on the Sega Genesis, get through all this again. Options for passwords. I actually have written down some passwords here. 3 stages to begin with. There's obviously a lot more later in the game. This is sort of a World 1, sort of a pirate themed world, if you will. There's a couple different themed worlds. First thing you notice is sort of a 3D isometric view, kind of done in a 3D, but you still move on a 2D grid. You can kind of move diagonally a little bit. This basically 2D D-pad controls here on the Sega Genesis. This time out, you're still collecting spots, but there's not 100 or so in this particular game. You got to collect roughly 10 to 20 in each stage. You got to collect so many, like 90% or so, to progress to the next stage. The baddies are a little less baddies in the game, but they're a little more challenging. So I kind of like that. You might notice the great soundtrack here, done by, if you're a fan of gaming soundtracks, Tommy Tallarico. Video Games Live and all that. Yeah, this is the guy. He did a great job, especially on the PlayStation version. Here's a checkpoint right here. On the PlayStation version, just an amazing soundtrack. Easily one of my favorites of any gaming soundtracks. Is the Spot Goes to Hollywood PS1 game. Here's the spot right here. We collected 1. There's 10 in this stage, so we got 10% of them. I think we need at least 8 or 9 to progress on. So this game has a lot of secret areas as well. There's a spot. There's some collectibles. You can kind of jump up here, get that one. Well, yeah, definitely a fun game if you're a fan of. Like so many people, fan of the Cool Spot game the way showed previously. I think you'll definitely dig this. This is a great game. I think now a lot of people know. It's a good entry in the, here's the exit. We can't access it because we need to have so many spots. So we need to go back. There's some secret areas to find. And even on the PS1 version, there's some secret stars to find too. To which, let's take a look at the PS1 version next. Alright, the last game we'll take a look at is, again, Spot Goes to Hollywood, but this is a different version than what we just got done seeing for the Sega Genesis. I passed the game, so I have all the levels open, which is kind of nice. You can see here sort of some options here we can go to. Not a whole lot, but that's pretty okay. We'll continue game here so you can see. Here's all the stages here, swashbuckling spot. So as I mentioned with this Genesis version, each world's kind of a different theme. This is sort of a pirate world. There's an Old West bonus stage. There's an adventure world, very kind of Indiana Jones-ish. Yeah, I do have 5 stars, I think, in all these stages. So, bonus stage of the Dino Dash, sort of a prehistoric world. The horror world's kind of interesting. Really enjoy that. And this one kind of plays like the classic arcade game Zax and sort of a space world. So, pretty fun here. Let's go to the very beginning here. Bear with the screen selection here. So it looks like each world had 5 particular levels with 3 bonus worlds in between. So that makes 18 altogether. And the stages are a nice little length. Here's the story that I mentioned with the Sega version. They didn't show these cutscenes. PS1, obviously, a little bit more enhanced. But basically, you're a Spot, and you kind of get somehow sucked into this movie world. Pretty frightening. But again, that great music, Tommy Tallarico, man, this is, I said it already in this video, but easily one of my favorite gaming soundtracks. Definitely a top 10, probably top 5 for myself personally. So here we are. More spots to collect. Unlike the Genesis version, like we've seen with the previous version, where there was only 10 spots per stage, or 15 or 20 that you collect. Here's a bunch of spots, so it's definitely a very different game. Definitely a little more cartoony. I like it. Control is a lot nicer. I kind of like the D-pad, and it's a lot more smoother playing on the PS1. There's a big spot. A little more enemies to face too. Oh, you can only take a couple hits. So well, I already blew 2 of my little health here. This thing here in the background is sort of a secret area. So here we go. See, we got a secret area. We got a hidden star. There's five hidden stars in each stage. Very Mario Brothers like. But we can go with that. Get back to the main stage. We're already at 51 spots. We're doing pretty good. Keep all the cannons here. Probably going to get hit at some point. Have to be a little more careful. Oh, geez, that was close. H is for health. There's also a couple of power-ups in this game, which none of the previous Spot games had. There's like a 3, there's a power-up with a 3. You can basically fire your Spot shots 3 directions at once. And I want to say there's like a shield or some type of invincibility as well. Here's our checkpoint here, of course, very movie-themed. But yeah, that's kind of that stage here. Great music, too, in the background. I'll show you that last stage there. That's kind of based on Zaxxon. Great artwork, too, in this game. Actually, before I get to that space stage kind of based on the Sega game Zaxxon, I thought I'd kind of show off a different environment, too. This is sort of an adventure-type world now. There's a power shot. Our Spot shots do a lot more damage. Kind of clicked on that. So actually some good puzzle solving in here too. Have to be careful there. Very dangerous. There's a bonus area. Some health. There's I think a 1-up back there I just missed. Just noticed that. That's alright. Well, yeah, just one of many, couple mini environments. Here's a tile we landed on. So, judging your jumps is kind of interesting here. But yeah, this is an adventure. Like I said, there's also a horror-themed world as well. Let's take a look at that last stage now. Bonus stage, some Spot Wars, if you will. What an adventurous hero that 7-Up mascot was. Again, with some good artwork. But yeah, some of the bonus stages, I know the Dino one kind of has you on like a bicycle and you're running from the dinosaurs. Sort of a free-run shooter type game. So yeah, here's, if you're a fan of Zaxxon, that game, this is kind of an interesting one. Yeah, another great bonus stage. Actually, all the 3 bonus stages in the game, or in this game, is great. The music's great. We're still collecting spots. There's a bonus star there. Yeah, lots of variety in the game. I'm very pleased with the sort of worlds that they gave us in this game and whatnot. It's a fun game. There's 2 out of the 5 stars. You have a cool green 7-Up bottle spaceship. Here's our checkpoint. Here's why I say it's kind of very much like Zaxxon, because he can kind of go up and a little close to the camera and go down. So there's kind of 2 different levels you can be at. So here we're going to kind of fly over that. Fly down here to get our special shield activated. But yeah, great game overall. I love Spot Ghost Hollywood. Easily one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 1. Highly recommend if you get a chance to scope it out and pick it up. It does come highly recommended from your pal Kyle. Alrighty everybody, that will do it for the Cool Spot retrospective. Hopefully everybody found it entertaining, or at least 50% fascinating. That'd be pretty cool. I want to thank Super Retro Trio. I was playing some games on here. It's kind of convenient being able to switch through the NES, Super NES, and Genesis versions, as well as Super Game Boy if you have that. Really awesome to play these games on that system. As well as the PlayStation version, just want to point out, when you put in your CD on your original PlayStation 1, if you remember that, you can play CDs. It does come with the soundtrack as well, PS1 and PS2. You can put this in and play as a CD. You can listen to that great soundtrack I was raving about while playing this game from Tommy Tellerico. So just a friendly reminder, you can also do that as well with that. So everybody, thanks for tuning in and watching. Share the video, spread some love for the classic Cool Spot franchise. Easily one of my favorite game series. Definitely top 5 or top 10 for sure, for just myself personally. So share the video, leave a comment on your favorite Spot game, or which one looked more suited to you. You know, of the series of 4, technically 5, because the Genesis version is a little bit different than the PS1 version, Saturn versions of Spot Goes to Hollywood. So yeah, share the video, give it a thumbs up, show some love for Cool Spot. And I want to thank everybody for tuning into this video. As always, thanks for subscribing. If you've done so, much appreciated. Everybody stay classic, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you, everybody.